Richie made me a hand wrap.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got some UFC tape.
Have you got a favourite thing in here?
A favourite thing?
Yeah.
Fuck, no one's ever asked me that.
Is this on?
Yeah, we're gone. I don't know.
start with that.
This bloke made me an axe.
This one here?
That axe there,
What do you mean he made it?
he made it. He's a blacksmith.
Fucking...
And he those, see the hooks that it's hanging up by?
Yeah, these meat hook looking things.
They were in his ass. He suspended. He
I touched it.
He does that like body suspension.
Oh my god.
And
he's a blacksmith.
And he's a blacksmith. And he fucking, those hooks were hanging him by the ass. That was pretty cool. I've got like
Do you
Tom.
have any hand sanitizer?
Oh, he would have sanitised them. It's all good. But the nicest man in MMA,
Oh, is someone else coming?
the happiest motherfucker you ever met, the most calm man. This is Alan Hartley, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The thing about you, I remember the first time I met you. This is when I used to train jiu-jitsu a little bit, and we rolled on our open mat, and I was like, "Fuck, he's really nice." Like, you're just so unassumingly good.
You were doing backflips. What am I going to do? Arc up?
And you're so fucking like... So when you roll, it's heaps similar to your personality. You're hell like technical and
Sure.
no, not really like any extra exerted effort. It's all very technique based.
Yeah. I think that's something not enough people try to do is like roll the same as their personality. Like, you're pretty cheeky. You should have like cheeky moves. You know? Like, you shouldn't try to roll super aggressive because you're pretty like calm, funny, smart. Like, that's how you should roll, I think, as well, you know?
Yeah, it was so shocking though, so unassuming, and that's what the first one I realised. I was like, oh, there's people that you'd never, besides your ears, if you didn't have your ears, like if you're in a street fight, you'd be the first person, you'd be like, yeah, I'll take that one. But if you didn't have your ears, then it's like, fuck, he would kill you. Like
I don't know about that nowadays. Jesus.
Do you have it now that you're a father and stuff? Do you have that in you? Have you lost a bit of that?
Nah, sometimes I've got more. You know, like I've had a whole day of just like kids screaming, and then I get to a gym, I'm like, you're gonna fucking get it. Yeah.
You grew up in Wyhalla, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of time, mostly in Port Augusta, which is pretty close. But yeah, up that way.
Rough?
Not too bad. Like, it was.
You're used to
just
it.
normal. Yeah, exactly. I think everyone said that about everything, right? It's just normal for me.
Do you enjoy going back home?
It's a pretty long trip.
Yeah?
Not really. Nah, like the people, of course, the memories, like the gym up there is sick, but like...
That's where CCMA started.
Yeah, exactly. But here's really nice. Yeah.
See, and CCMA is fucking doing really well, man.
Everything that happens to me is pretty much accident. Like, I don't really know Adelaide's geography well, but we just fucking nailed it for the crossroads of people coming to train.
Bro,
like it's sick.
Literally the perfect location. So if people don't, what is the actual address of it?
1249 South Road.
Bro, it's literally the center of everyone.
It's the best. It's
you would get, it's like I would call it it's the epicenter for cross training in Adelaide.
So far, yeah, it's and for MMA, for jiu-jitsu, for... Do
you have? I don't know how many like solid like full-time members you have, but I imagine you get a fuckload of people just dropping in.
Yeah, at the start, more than my membership base was just people visiting.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was sick.
It's just on the way for everyone. Like all the M16 boys traveling up to work or back to work, or all the northerners traveling back to home from work. You know,
exactly right.
It's perfect,
and especially open mats on Sundays. Like when people have a bit of time, there's no other open mats. It's reasonably close. Everyone's in.
And you have a cage, yeah?
Yeah, and we got a cage. Yeah, exactly.
Which is such a fucking big thing in Adelaide. No one has a cage.
It's bananas. Well, I thought no one had a cage. There's probably like 4 or 5 out there, hey?
Yeah, I think Chow Kaizen have one. I don't know if...
Trinity, Cardio Flex.
Trinity have a cage. Cardio Flex have a cage.
I know there's another one. I think ISA has one, and like United MMA has one.
Yeah, right. Is yours a full cage, like half wall cage, or
no, full like enclosed. Yeah, just like a little bit smaller than like a DFC cage.
And I was looking up your record the other day.
That's shameful.
Oh, it's not, bro.
I don't bring up your record.
No, but like. You got dicked with your first fight.
You know what I mean? As it turns out.
Your fight career has names on it. Like, it's not shameful at all. It's excellent. But you fucking got some fucking tough customers in that.
I didn't know until you did the podcast with him how much I got screwed over.
Oh, bro.
So I called a random fight show that someone that was training my gym was like, hey, do you want to fight? I was like, yeah. And he just sent me like a nominations number. I called him. He was like, yeah, for sure, we can get you a fight. This guy's done some rugby. You'll be fine. As it turns out, it's Jack Jenkins, and he's done a bit more than some rugby, you know? Yeah.
At least it was a triangle.
Hey, yeah, so
It could have been a broken leg.
I'm glad that fight's not out there, but he took me down, mounted me, and like from the heavens landed an elbow square in the middle of my forehead.
Ah, so you were fucked before the triangle.
I wasn't too bad, but I was like, no more of this. And I put my arm up for an arm bar. I was like, I know I can escape an arm bar. He sits for an arm bar, I can escape. He puts me straight in a triangle. I was like, fuck. I don't know how to do with that. He chokes me unconscious with like 1 second left.
And you fought Manu, is it? Did you fight Michael Manu?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still
still
active
going and doing well.
And he's doing well. I'm pretty sure I've seen him fight a Hex.
Yeah. He's fought a Hex a bunch of times. He fought that Showtime Parker, that Shane.
Yeah.
That I don't know if that guy's
I don't think he's still
a dwarf or not, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
But your record's actually got some fucking like really tough customers.
I just hope that they get to the UFC, so I'll lose to like more UFC fighters. You know?
Yeah.
I'm really rooting for them.
Oh, that would have been. It's just hindsight though. Like everyone has to be someone's first fight.
It turns out that's me.
Yeah. But do you miss competing?
Yeah, like every day.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love competing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
And your record was 5-5?
5-5, yeah.
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 That's fucking
man.
That's fucking 10 fights, bro. I just look at them in fights though. I don't really look at the wins and losses. 10 fights is
Appreciate
massive.
that.
10 fights is huge, and especially you were doing it. Well, you started in 2016.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
Jenkins first, so that would have been your first fight as well.
Yeah, that's right.
No shit.
Yeah. It goes pretty quick, and it's super fun. You know, like it's the best.
And did you always want to end up being a trainer?
Yeah, I started fighting because I wanted to make sure the stuff that I was teaching would be all right.
So you initially wanted to be a trainer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, before that. And then I quickly worked out the stuff I was teaching wasn't very good. I should probably get better.
I find it very strange how some of the best coaches in the world have never stepped in a ring.
Oh, for sure. Some people
They're just talented with the mechanics of the sport.
Yeah. And some people, like, there's a guy at my gym now, Dan Curry. I think a lot of people know that guy. He's the kind of guy you can throw a slab of meat, tell him to hit a bag, and he'll go murder anyone, you know, like a Spacey or something. But like some people are just built differently. Some people are just analytical geniuses. They can see what's going on, what needs to change, and they're just good coaches, you know.
There's a young bloke at M16 as well that just won on the weekend, a Muay Thai fight. Oh, is it
Alex Aiken or Aaron Gonzalez?
Aaron Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That kid's just, like you said, some people are just built to fight.
Yeah.
That kid's just built to fight.
It's so exciting when you meet one, because you're just like, you're different from the rest of us. Like, please don't hurt me, sir.
It's the same as, like you said, the Spacey brothers are obvious one in Adelaide.
Different cats.
Jack's fucking terrifying.
They're the
man.
best.
They're so sweet though, like such nice people.
Yeah.
But just so competitive and just natural born winners.
Trent Spacey's hurt me more than anyone I've ever met. But like, he's probably my favorite training partner I've ever had, just because he's so genuine, so excited, so like happy about it all, you know.
I seen him when he did jiu-jitsu for like a month or two, and he was tapping brown belts.
Yeah, he's got a guillotine on him, man.
It was just pure fucking will and strength. Like,
he has more of that than they have technique, for sure.
Yeah. But it would have been so interesting to see one of them in 4-ounce gloves one day.
Oh my god. Because that was the plan for both of them for a little bit, right?
I think so, but life gets in the way. You have like children injuries.
Yeah.
It just all gets in. It doesn't get in the way. Like, just life changes, I guess.
I feel like they're both, like I say that they're both just like, you throw them a slab of meat and hit a bag and they fight. But someone like a Jack, he's got everything dialed in. And
he's
like,
got insane fight IQ.
Yeah, exactly. And like, but like even his training, his ice bath, he's got like, he wants to have it all set up, ready to go.
Very
and
regimented.
Then he murders, you know?
Yeah, it's so interesting seeing the sport grow. Even from like 2016 to now, you'd see a massive...
Oh, that's insane.
Massive change, because kids are now starting with MMA. They're not starting with Muay Thai.
Anyone who's trained at my gym for 6 months now would beat me on my first fight, for sure. Easily. Destroy me.
Was there much of like an MMA culture up in Wyhalla and Port Augusta?
No.
So
really.
you were kind of like not pioneering, but...
For that area, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of like pioneering MMA, obviously not. But
for that area.
Yeah, exactly. There was like one jiu-jitsu gym out of There are 2 jiu-jitsu gyms out of Adelaide in South Australia, and that was it. And
How
then
did
I was
you
the
learn
third.
jiu-jitsu up there?
So there was a seminar once a month in Port Lincoln, like 3 hours away, and I would just drive down there once a month and then try to like convince my friends, hey, do you want to wrestle? They're like, not really, that's weird. But I try to get some wrestles in and work it out, you know?
Yeah, right. It's weird because obviously your strong point is jiu-jitsu, would you say? Would that be like your favourite thing?
I thought it was striking. When I was fighting, I thought it was striking. But now, for sure, I'd be better at jiu-jitsu than striking.
Because your jiu-jitsu is really technically smooth.
It's not bad. But I've just from wrestling for hours and hours and hours because there's not a coach telling you what to do up there, you know?
Do you still compete in jiu-jitsu?
Nah, not at all.
Not at all?
Yeah,
Would you?
Probably not. So, got a brain injury. I don't know if you know about that.
From a fight?
From sparring mostly.
Sparring?
Yeah. I got what's called post-concussion syndrome, which is pretty much where your concussion doesn't go away.
Really?
For a long time. You gotta rehab it properly. So still.
So like if you go and have like a really hard sparring round now, if you get a pretty severe knock in the head, you'll have concussion symptoms straight away.
I'll have probably worse than that. I'll probably just be like, they think I'll probably be like a vegetable. I don't know for sure. Yeah, exactly. So every time you get a concussion, it gets easier to get a concussion and it lasts for a bit longer.
It's so strange how some people's ticker is so much shorter than other people's. Well, or like you just got the right hit at the wrong time kind of thing.
That's a huge part of it for sure. But then like what happens after is another huge bit. So what happened to me is I got like a concussion. Then a week later I got another concussion, and then I didn't really know about like healing it. So I felt good probably 2 weeks later, and then went back to training. And then I accidentally bumped my head, and I feel shit for a couple of days. I just let it settle, and then I bumped my head. And this went on for like almost 6 months, a year and a half, all up, not 6 months. Yeah, a year and a half before it got like really bad. Each one got like a little bit worse, bit worse, until I couldn't like walk down the aisles of the shops.
Fuck.
I couldn't like
look at perception,
bubbles, everything. And it just kept getting worse and worse until I had to get help. And they're like, yeah, you are currently concussed and you need to fix this before you do anything else.
Bloody hell. And actually, you won, you won your last 2 fights?
Mm-hmm.
You had a pretty rough knockout before those?
Yeah.
So was that it?
That's one of my... No. It was after my last couple of fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was legit just training?
Yeah. So obviously I was 5-5, and I was like, fuck, I need to have one more fight to get in the win column, and I'll be like 6-5. I'll have a winner record.
Yeah.
And then in that training camp, when I just moved down here, I copped some then.
Yeah, well, pulling it back to 5-5 from 3-5 is fucking pretty good.
Oh man,
you'd be chuffed with that.
I was on top of the moon. Yeah.
But that's so unfortunate. A similar thing happened with is it Pugliese?
Yeah.
He has concussion symptoms as well.
Exactly.
Which is he was a very hot prospect.
Yeah. He's the man.
Yeah, he's fucking got one of the most savage guillotines I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's very good. Is he still active? I haven't seen much of it. He has a child and
had a child, got the businesses.
Yeah,
I think I've seen videos of him just like hitting pads again recently, and I think he still rolls, I'm pretty sure.
It's just crazy watching things like people like Justin Gaethje fight, where it's like watching a fucking car accident. It's 100%. Like how come? Or we don't know what he's going to be like in 30 years, but he wouldn't get cleared to fight. Like at that level, you'd assume that they would have the protocols in place where he wouldn't be able to fight if he was like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like even Dan Hooker and fucking all these people that have been through these wars where you're like uncomfortable watching him sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you get, because of your injury, do you look at those kind of fights a bit differently now?
I did for a while, especially in the gym. But like for a little while after the concussions, like if it was so bad, like if I see someone hit a pad hard and it's a sharp impact, my eyes couldn't keep up, and then I'd get like a little bit dizzy, you know? So like even just seeing people get hit hard was like hard to watch. But then like you just, I guess, work through that. And then you just hope that people like Gaethje, he has like 6 months off, you know, like he can rehab all that properly, and he'd probably be fine. That's the big thing with concussions. If you can rehab them properly, you're probably going to be fine, you know.
Bro, as a perfect example was on the weekend, that Saint Denis and Mohicano fight. Did you watch that?
Yeah, no, I did not. Hectic. I've seen the highlights, obviously. But
bro, Saint Denis came back in the second round to actually, I don't know if he won the round, but it was fucking close round. I don't know how.
And if you think about like coming back to win a round, like he's been hit before and he's used to it. Do you know what I mean? So like it's happened 100 times in sparring.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, it was just the damage on his face. Like he couldn't see out of his eyes. His eyes was just both shut. And Moicano broke his collarbone.
Jesus.
But apparently he did it before he even entered the fight. You can see his collarbone's like 2 inches raised off of his shoulder.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was insane. I've never seen anything like it. They both just killed each other in that fight. Whereas I'll see if I can find it.
Moicano's an animal, man.
He is a very interesting dude.
I'm trying to think of his name. There's another guy who's got like weird shoulders. He has like funny.
Here it is.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, he popped it out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's just straight up cracked in half. And he went into, I believe he went into the fight like that. Yeah. But I was explaining to someone that doesn't watch MMA, they're like, how do you break your shoulder and then throw it, go into the fight? I'm like, this isn't footy. Like,
yeah.
If you don't fight, you don't get paid.
That's the thing, right? And then his coaches will go and get 10% of that, and they don't get anything if he doesn't fight.
That's another thing a lot of people don't think about. It's not just like if you don't make it to the fight, you're letting down 24 other people.
Yeah, exactly. And at that level, like that's all those coaches are doing for money.
And it's not $800. It's
exactly
$100,000, or like it's big fucking money.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to fight with a broken collarbone.
Oh, it's the most it's the best and worst sport in the world.
Oh, look at that X-ray of it.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's completely detached from his shoulder. That would be. I can't actually imagine the pain of that.
Because like you said about getting cleared with concussions, like he got cleared to fight like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Michael Bisping got cleared to fight like 8 fights with one eye.
Yeah. The fighters are the stupidest people in the world. Like,
but you have to give them the opportunity, because then if they win, like he won that fight.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the counter argument, right?
Bisping won a fucking belt with one eye. Like
it makes it greater.
Yeah, it makes that makes the story better. It's actually very strange. A lot of people, not a lot, but I would say a fair few people that I talk to who are either coaches or active fighters don't actually follow the sport of MMA.
Yeah.
Do you follow MMA?
Not 100%. Like I don't watch every fight. Yeah. You can't. You can't do that and do all your training and your coaching and have kids and yeah.
It's a very time consuming sport.
Of course, and there's a lot of boring fights.
Yeah, there's
a lot of boring
There's a lot
fights.
of shit to sift through.
Yeah, but if you like just wait a couple of days, go on Reddit, you can. Oh, that was a good fight. I can watch that one.
Yeah.
It's a bit easier that way.
And you have some fighters coming up.
Yeah. We got one on DFC, Brody Parker, just a savage of a human, and then on Element Fight Night, I think we have 18 at the minute, so that should be a busy night. 18
people fighting.
18, yeah, from our gym.
Element do they do MMA and Muay Thai fights?
Yeah, they do. They do the combat jiu-jitsu as well and the sand
Yeah.
shower. I think they call it sand shower in the cage, but yeah.
I really want them to bring in 4-ounce Muay Thai to Adelaide.
Well, I think they've. Oh no, they've only done it in the bigger gloves, right?
They only do Muay Thai in the 10 or 12s.
No, they've done it in the MMA gloves.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, on the Element Fight Night, Irish fought Brian Muller.
Really?
In
small gloves.
They might have been the 7 ounces, but I'm pretty sure it was a small gloves.
Oh, I love what 1FC do.
It's the best.
With 4-ounce Muay Thai might be one of the most exciting sports to watch.
It gives us hope that sport will take off in the West, you know?
I think that's the only way it does, because the smaller gloves obviously produce more damage, and that's what people like to see.
Yeah.
And Muay Thai is already the most fucking damaging sport ever.
People do want to see grappling, but they want to see grappling like I take you down and punch you in the head a whole bunch. They don't want to see grappling like I take you down and we just stay still, you know? They don't want to see exciting scrambles or something
CJI
like
was fun to watch.
Like, it was pretty good. I thought the pit would be bad.
No,
like,
it's
people
sick.
fight, because then people have to like fight to stay off it. Like it fixed every problem they have. Like I think MMA should fight in the pit like that.
Oh, the pit's excellent.
People will just stay in the middle more, because if you go near the edge, you get taken down real easy.
And you're stuck.
Yeah,
And
you're stuck in that weird angle. You can't build up properly.
But you can't run off if someone's got your leg for a single leg or shooting a double, you can't run off the mat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
you're fucked. If you run off the mat, but it's going to be interesting in like, as the pit grows, because I think other organizations are going to utilize that format for jiu-jitsu now.
Mm-hmm.
when people learn how to use it better, it's going to be more exciting because you seen in that Ruotolo and
oh my god,
oh bro, Taggart jumped and fucking swung himself around and took Cade's back, and I was like,
probably
what
the most sick thing ever, that match. Yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic. That still gives me goosebumps even talking about that match.
That was a sick match.
It was just jiu-jitsu needed something like that.
It's that's going to help the grappling sport in the West. You know, like same as 4 ounce Muay Thai and the pit jiu-jitsu. They're like the two big things, right?
Oh, jiu-jitsu, I feel, has had a massive surge though in the last 3-4. Because although people still don't know what they're watching, and there is like a stigma of jiu-jitsu being fucking gay.
Pretty gay.
But it's like, at the end of the day, a lot of people sacrifice a lot of their fucking life for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a thankless sport sometimes.
But like a lot more general people than MMA, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's more normal people do jiu-jitsu than do MMA.
Yeah, it's because you're not I think in MMA you still do need athleticism. You still do need a lot of those things, but in jiu-jitsu
you don't have to train.
Yeah, not to train, but to be good at jiu-jitsu, you don't have to be super athletic. You just have to be consistent and have the mind for it. A lot of these people are fucking like a lot of jiu-jitsu people are fucking smart.
A lot of them are weirdos too.
Autistic.
Yeah.
Autism is very... People think Craig's lying about it. Like
it's insane.
It fucking helps
to have
a bit of autism.
It's not mandatory, but it helps.
It does help.
But it helps.
I've trained with some people that are like, oh, you're not a functional member of society at all, but you're so good.
Fit in here.
You're so good in this little gym.
And they make good coaches too, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Maybe not for everyone, but for high level guys, they make good coaches.
Well, you see all the best in the world, like fucking Mikey Musameshi. You cannot tell me that person's playing with a foot. He's a gun though.
Yeah. And who cares? You know, he's the best.
He's fucking one of the best. Ruotolo brothers, the gun. They're all fucking savages.
Those Ruotolo brothers seem pretty normal considering.
They are. They seem pretty normal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In the jiu-jitsu sphere.
Yeah. But even for people who've grown up in the limelight, they seem pretty normal.
Yeah, because they've been going at it since they were 12 or 13. They've been
no, way younger. They were studs in the gi at 6. You know.
That's so strange, isn't it?
Yeah, there's highlight videos of them surfing, wrestling on the little mats, just little cuties, and now they're just fucking terrifying human beings.
That's that second, and that's because they're that third generation jiu-jitsu now. Like their father did jiu-jitsu, their father done jiu-jitsu, then their granddad probably did jiu-jitsu. It's just you're going to get these kids now that are 4th, 5th generation jiu-jitsu players, and they'll be better than a lot of brown belts by the time they're 12.
Doubt. Yeah. Even in the local scene, the blues and purples here that are standing out, Jimbo James from 10th Punter and Luke Marco and Raz, and these guys are just terrifying. I couldn't compete with any of them.
It's insane to think that when did M16 open? Fuck, M16 would have to be about 8 years old, 7 to 9.
2017.
Yeah,
it's just after my second fight. I'm pretty sure.
I'd say it's 7 to 8 years at least.
Yeah. That's crazy. When you think about it like that.
Leg locks were just coming in then.
Yeah.
Leg locks have not even been a thing for a decade.
That's insane. M16 is only 7, 8 years old.
It feels like fucking 20.
If you think about not all of Declan's second half of Declan's career was from M16.
Yeah.
The coaches they've gone through, that's insane.
Yeah, it's
Holy
not
shit.
It's not that old.
Yeah.
It's still relatively new.
Imagine where M16 is in 8 more years.
Oh, it's great. What Miles has done with that gym's insane.
Miles is probably the best person that's ever been in the scene. Yeah, he's pushed everyone up.
Yeah, and he promoted cross training and shit. I don't remember many other gyms, especially in the fucking jiu-jitsu world. There's not many gyms still that like to cross train.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gyms in Adelaide still that would get dirty on fighters for going and fucking training somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which is just so baffling to me.
And Miles will bring his fighters over or ask me to come down or whatever, we were in the same weight class, and he's like, do you want to come train together, because there's no one my weight I can train with,
People from M16, Miles gets excited when people from other gyms come.
Yeah, exactly. He's the man.
Yeah,
it really is.
But it's just wild to think that 8 years ago, leg locks, Danaher was just inventing his fucking leg lock system. Yeah. And it's
Yeah. And it was goofy back then,
it was frowned upon.
If you get someone in the saddle, they're done. They're dead.
And people couldn't defend against heel hooks. Like you got a heel hook and it was fucking over. People didn't know what to do. Did you ever train with Will, my mate Will?
Yeah. The doctor guy.
He fucking tapped Declan.
Yeah, sure.
As a white belt.
With a heel hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well for like the other 40 minutes of the roll. But like, because Declan just ran out of room to roll. He hit the wall I think it was at AJA.
Yeah, right.
And he hit the fucking wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, this fucking white belt's about to fucking take my leg. And he's like, he tapped apparently and he was like,
that's it.
Oh,
I can't imagine the next roll.
No, apparently.
I would have left.
Apparently it was terrible.
Yeah.
But it's those leg locks just changed jiu-jitsu for so long. But I feel like now there's a lot more pushback. Like people are defending them a lot better. And
of course, yeah.
I think like back takes
it's swung back for sure.
Taking the back and the back game and like playing in people's guard and shit's a lot more pop. Like people aren't butt scooting as much anymore. You do have the people that pull guard a lot still.
Yeah.
But I feel like top pressure and top game is like coming back.
That's definitely the current meta for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will was an animal because you didn't know. He'd just be sitting there in a jumper on class and you're like, oh yeah, cool. Let's have a roll. I'm like, you're on my leg. Can I have that back?
Oh, he used to have a hard drive with like fucking 45 hours of just leg lock seminars.
It was him that brought in that
prosthetic leg.
Yeah, exactly.
He used to carry it in his car.
It was just like sitting there, M16. I'm like, what is this for?
Yeah, he's just fucking strange dude, man. He's fucking weird. I knew that bloke for like a decade. Mm-hmm. Before he passed away, and I was like, he never got not stranger. Like he just kept getting stranger.
Sure.
But jiu-jitsu was built for him. It's just that's when I realized I was like, oh, it actually really benefits if you do have some form of academic fucking like it does aid you in jiu-jitsu.
Because
being
researching
smart.
in jiu-jitsu is like half the problem, you know. Because if you don't know how to research, you have to ask a coach or pick something up and then hope they do it. But if you can research by yourself. If you know how to research well,
you can download so much knowledge online.
Yeah.
You just have to, and you have to know how to apply the knowledge. It's like anything. I can look up how to build a fucking rocket right now. I like still wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
if you're minded to do that and you know how to learn.
But it's half if you're minded. But like people who have done a university degree or high level education, it's just practice at learning. You know what I mean? Like they got to learn for another 4 years. Other people are getting drunk or whatever.
What did you do did you ever like work normal work?
Yeah, it was horrible. I was a mechanical engineer.
You were a mechanical engineer?
Yeah.
You go to uni?
Yeah. Don't recommend it.
Yeah, it's fucking not my kind of cup of tea.
You?
I dropped out when I was in year 10. I was qualified chef by the time I just turned 18.
Were you really?
Mm.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I was working in like some fucking real high-end restaurants in Adelaide. Then I moved to Sydney to work in Sydney.
Hey, how'd you find it?
I fucking hated Sydney.
The work or the...
Oh, I love the work. The work was cool. I was like I was living inside the Blue Mountains at a resort.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I was like, the nearest town was an hour and a half away. So I was literally in the Blue Mountains.
Surely it'd be a pretty tight-knit community backstage at a resort like that.
Oh, it was cool, but then if I had to go into Sydney, I just hated Sydney.
Yeah,
I just didn't enjoy it. The people were fucking rude. The city's so overwhelming.
Yeah,
like I can handle Melbourne CBD. I love Melbourne CBD.
Yeah.
But Sydney CBD is just like fucking a different country.
I've only been there a couple of times for holiday, and it's been pretty sweet. You know.
It's so overwhelming when you got to drive there and.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Oh man, it's
that's hectic.
Everything's 40 minutes away.
Yeah, sure.
You want to go to the servos 40 minutes away. You want to it's just fucked. And I found I'm so used to Adelaide.
Adelaide's a nice balance.
Everyone's just really nice here, man.
It's good, especially South. South is so nice.
Do you live down here?
Yeah. I'll just around the corner from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like 4 minutes.
Really? Mm-hmm. I thought you lived down the hill, like near Marion or closer to the gym.
Nah, just here.
Yeah, nice.
I run past your house all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit. I've got to come down to CCMA one day.
Yeah, we're always open.
What do you do? Open mats?
Yeah, Friday night and Sunday morning.
What's your when you acquire? So is it an acquired brain injury? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, ABI.
ABI.
Yeah.
When you got it, now that do you still allow fighters to spar hard?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You have to.
Exactly.
That's the thing people do, because there's got a lot of people that don't even spar anymore, but I'm such a believer in you need those fucking hard rounds where you're a nail sometimes.
Especially at the start. And yeah, exactly. When you're a nail, you learn so much. And then when you fight, you're going to be so confident that you've been in this situation before. It doesn't want to be the first time you get hit hard in the fight. Or even if you haven't been hit hard for 6 months and you're just like, fuck, I'm not sure if I could take a shot anymore.
So now if I went to spar hard, we were talking off camera. If I went to even leg kick someone now, if I got him perfectly in the thigh, it would fucking hurt my shin more than it hurt. Like,
you know what I mean?
You just lose that conditioning and shit. So, and that's why it's so cool what Declan did, where he was like, I'm so sick of being the fucking hammer.
Yeah.
I want to go to B team and be a nail.
That's hard.
It would be hard because he could have just coasted in Adelaide the rest of his life and been the best.
Yeah.
You know, he could have had easy rolls forever.
Yeah.
Could have fucking won every local competition, but he's like, nah, fuck this. I want to go roll with Nicky Rod.
Yeah. Nope. Not for me.
That was his first roll straight off the plane.
Could you imagine?
Oh, he said he fucking felt like a child. He's like, no one's ever done that to me.
And like, you just got off the flight. You've literally just had 3 years of being the fucking best. Just like, oh, hi, I'm Nicky.
Yeah, he's fucking like Thor's hammer. He's just killing everyone.
You've got my back. I'm going to do a backflip and get on your back.
Oh, it's
like
just,
that.
you need to, but you do, especially young fighters, you do need to go into those fights in the gym, because some sparring sessions just turn into fights.
I think,
but it needs to be controlled, obviously.
Yeah. There's some people I've been hit by, like a Trent Spacey. He hits you so fucking hard, but it's not with malice. It's not with like.
It's just how he punches.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't mind that. But when it's like someone's offended that you've hit them and they're trying to ramp it up to get it back, you know, like, come on, man, you can calm down on that.
Yeah, natural heavy hitters and trying to hurt someone's very different.
Very different.
Like Jack Spacey is not a heaps heavy hitter, but he's so accurate and he's so quick. You just don't see it. And it just sucks. And fucking, I sparred him once, and this was a week before his last fight. I actually looked in the car park to see if his car was there, and it wasn't there. So I was like, fuck this, I'll go spar. Mm-hmm. This was the last time I went sparring, and I was like, I haven't been here in a while. Fucking, if Jack's car's in the
I'll take that night off.
I'm fucking bailing. And his car wasn't there, and then fucking he walks, like, he comes up the stairs after. I'm like, fuck's sake. And I've dodged him for like 4 years. And then we're sparring, and it's like, it's more the fact that, you know, if you hit him, 4 are coming straight back.
Yeah.
So it's like you got that fear already built into you.
Yeah.
And as soon as you have that fear, you've just fucking you're going to get pumped.
It gets worse.
It's a snowballing effect, because it's like, now I'm too scared to hit you.
And you get them for free.
And you're just going to get them for free.
Yeah.
And you know that now,
That's
and you're just fucking with me. And he was actually pretty nice. He just dropped me with a body shot. He landed a pretty nice fucking right hand. Oh, if he fucking a body shot's not too bad. But
can you imagine if you're working your normal job in the office and someone just walks up and drops you with a body shot? You're like, what's wrong with you? This is not normal.
A body shot, to be honest, is actually, I would prefer.
That's mercy.
I'd prefer to get punched in the fucking nose. then when you get hit in the liver, flush, it's actually the worst feeling in the world.
For sure. Because there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do.
Bro.
It's not going away for a couple of seconds, and your life sucks.
Do you recall because I imagine the knockouts, the fights you got finished, weren't actually the worst pain you've been in? Because do you recall like a moment where you're like, this fucking sucks?
So the Siley Eva fight, the one I got knocked out in, I've only been knocked out in a fight once. I was kicking, and literally the last thing that went through my head was like, oh, I've got this. And then I wake up on my back with the ref waving it off. And I was like, I assume thank you for saving my life. Thank you, mate.
You see the podcast? Oh, there's a little snippet from a podcast that Bisping just done. And he was talking about the fight he had with Chael Sonnen. And he reckons Chael Sonnen hit him that hard when he was on top of him. He actually just fully zoned out, and he like woke up in a field. And he was like he just thought he was in this field riding a bike, and then he like quickly woke up and he's like, oh my god, I'm in a fight.
What a terrible thing to come back from. I want to go back to the field, thanks.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, take me back to the fucking field. He's like, it's such a fun sport to. It's such a fun sport to watch because the stakes are so high.
Yeah.
It's like it's just modern day gladiators.
But it's so much better now that with all the podcasts, like Bisping talks about that, it makes that fight so much better. Like
the backstories to the fights.
Because just watching it, you got no idea. You got no idea the shit talk. You got no idea all the funny things. Like, do you listen to the Jackson podcast?
I was just gonna ask if you listened because Rampage on that tells some fucking fantastic stories.
And he'll just like he knows questions to ask about like do you listen to the Gary Goodridge one?
No. But has he done with Gary Goodridge?
Gary Goodridge. So you know that you listen to it. Everyone listens to it. Who knows the story? But like, you know how he jumps on that guy's for that elbows with Paul Herrera. He saw the guy warming up, or there's like they had to do like a little promo or something that's meant to be secret, and he saw him going for the fireman's carry. So he's like, all I have to do is learn how to counter that. And then the guy went straight for the fireman's carry, and he countered it exactly like he's been practicing for the last 4 hours.
Where he was elbowing him.
Yeah.
That viral fucking...
That only happened because he saw him do that move beforehand and like knew he was going to do it and had the counter ready.
That is actually still to this day one of the most brutal finishes I've ever seen.
Well, it was a pretty long finish, you know. Like,
it was
took a lot of elbows.
It was about 4 unnecessary to 5 unnecessary strikes.
Probably 8 unnecessary.
It was fucking wild.
Because why he's like unconscious, the commentator's like, he's a good grappler here. He'll get out of this. It's just like he's still taking elbows, bro.
Rampage still has one of the greatest knockouts I've seen. Where he slammed. Was it Wanderlei?
No.
Nogueira?
Arona.
Oh yeah, and he fucking just boom straight on his. But looking at that just makes me go, oh.
Different sport, you know. I'll do some jiu-jitsu, thanks.
Yeah. What was the first fight like? Were you like amped up? Were you terrified?
I was so excited because I wanted to see what it was about, you know. And we knew fucking nothing. We got to Melbourne. I didn't know it was a pro fight. He just happened to be like, yeah, we'll fly you over, have a fight.
You did it in Melbourne too.
Yeah, but which is probably better because I'm not near people that know me. You know what I mean? And like my best mate who was like helping me coach striking, and there was like another good mate of mine. So like James and Lee came over, and the guy just brought his brother. We didn't know we had to wrap our own hands. So another coach was like, do you want me to wrap your hands, pal? Yes, please. And then my coaches were like, I hope you know what you're doing because I got no idea what we're fucking doing. And that's exactly how it all went. You know, we had no idea. We're just here, see what happens. You know, it was fun as.
Looking back on it though, even like the losses and stuff, every fight has like, you know, I've never been a part of like an actual fight camp, but I've been like with the lead up. I've been obviously with the M16 boys, like all in the hotel rooms, fucking, and there's so much shit that goes on before a fight. It's fucking hilarious.
Like injuries, accidents.
Like even
you're in the wrong place.
When we went to Melbourne to watch Zach fight, and he was weight cutting and like just all this shit. Like it's just such a mission to get people to the fight.
Yeah, and some people especially like they can perform so well, just can't do the fucking 8 weeks beforehand. You know, like
yes,
you need to lock them down and be like, don't eat, don't drink, don't fucking do anything.
But then there's some people that are the opposite. They're like so strict and so regimented for that 8 weeks or 6 weeks prior, and they just can't pull it together on the actual fucking night.
Yeah,
it's such a strange. You never get someone that can do both. Eh?
Come on, man, please.
You fucking will never like, and people don't understand that when you're dealing with fighters, you're not dealing with normal people. Like these people aren't fucking normal.
But they're not normal or the same. Like they're all different.
Yeah, they're all got different quirks.
Normal. Yeah.
But like you got the ones that are wild, and then you got the ones that are fucking like just special, and then like it's just they're all different, but they're all not normal.
Yeah, and that's the best bit about being a coach. You know, like you get to play with all that.
Well, imagine being John Jones's fucking head coach.
That would be horrible.
Imagine being John Jones's coach, and then you get a fucking text message with him with a picture of him and Ryan Garcia.
Sick.
Oh, fuck yeah. Another lawsuit tomorrow.
I was talking to one of the other coaches at Element the other day. He's like, you should not let fighters make any decisions. Like they should not make any decisions themselves. They're not the people for that, you know? They always pick the wrongest or stupidest decision.
What's the difference in stress between you fighting and you watching someone you train fight?
Me fighting is almost no stress. I really enjoyed it. Some people don't. Heaps of people hate it, but that's just the fun bit for me. You know what I mean? But watching someone that you've trained, it's just like, God damn, did I tell him the wrong thing? Did I?
Miles says the
teach him
same.
right?
Miles said the same
horrible.
thing. Miles said it's like, I don't want this cunt to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And when you go in there, you can choose zig or zag, but you can't make them make the right decision or the wrong decision, and then it's just it's so much stress you can't control.
The feeling of joy when they win though it'd be
Just relief.
yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that's off.
It'd be crazy on these higher stakes fight, like when you do make a big promotion, the level of stress that would go into a title fight.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like it just would be so tense.
But even worse, the Dricus and Izzy fight that just happened. Like, imagine watching your fighter do well,
and then
just goddamn.
like, fuck.
Yeah, and that happens like that. That happens all the time. You know, like your fighter's doing exactly what you want them to do, and they still get caught. It's just like, far out.
But then you'd have a different stress of having a fighter like a Gaethje or a fucking Hooker or
A Holloway.
It's like, oh my god, don't point at the floor.
Just walk away for 10 seconds. Just skip away.
You literally won fucking 4.5 rounds.
Yeah.
Like, go fucking just walk away
You
from
know
him.
what I mean? Pull guard, whatever. I don't care.
But it's like, yeah, I'd imagine being in the corner would be such a weird stress.
Yeah. Did you watch the Josh Culibao fight? Just
Cool
recently?
about
That he lost?
the one who did he fucking lose it to? Yes, I did, and he was doing
clowning for a bit?
but he was doing pretty well.
Yeah,
and he
so-
lost by decision. Yeah,
Yeah. So he's like,
that would be so frustrating for his coaches, man, because he knocked him. Did he knock him down?
yeah, but what we talked about before with like how you should roll the same way as your personality. He was fighting, I think, to his personality. He's pretty happy. He's pretty cheeky. He's knocked him down and done like a little pirouette. He's like just playing around. And then between the rounds, his coach like
Pulled him in.
Yeah, he might have slapped him. But definitely at least like, stop fucking around, go out there and fight serious. He goes out and fights serious and then loses that round, you know, like fighters need to fight the way they are.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but sometimes you need to tell them to go kill. Sometimes you need to tell them like, there's no right answer. Hey, it sucks.
It'd be so like there'd be some of the highest highs and lowest lows as a coach. Like Leon Edwards, the Leon Edwards Kamaru Usman fight.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? You're just like, oh, it's in the bag. We got it.
But then on the opposite corner, you're like miserable. You're like, for fuck's sake. And then all of a sudden you just get this massive hit of fucking, oh my God.
We did it.
We fucking did it.
But then like sometimes you fuck up. One of my boys, Josh, had a title fight and he's got guard. He's going to go for an armbar. And I know he's going to go for the armbar. I know the armbar's there. And I tell him to use his right hand to grab something and left hand to do this. It's the wrong way. I'm looking at it backwards, and he fucking reaches the long way, and then the guy passes, and I'm just like, "That's my fault. You just lost this position because I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know my left and right." And then like every single day from then on, I'm like, "I know my left and right. I'm gonna practice my left and right." Like it's hard, you know.
It would be hard because you're shouting shit out in the heat of the moment. They're not even hearing half of the things you shout out.
And this is the one thing he hears, you
and
know?
the one thing they hear.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it. I liked the UFC when it was in the Apex.
Oh yeah, sure, because you can hear so much. Is that what you
I
mean?
fucking loved fighting during COVID because it was so silent.
Yeah.
You could hear the corners, like really hear them.
Yeah.
And I just found it so interesting.
It's different because so many different corners, like a Eugene Behrman from City Kickboxing, just kind of whispers.
Yeah, he's very,
You know what I mean?
very
Like,
soft spoken.
You don't hear too much, but then other guys are just like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no right way to fight. There's no right way to coach. There's no, like, it's just insane, you know? Like, that's MMA. Everyone's so different, and you just got to find a way that works for you and your fighter.
Yeah, you'd have to treat every fighter differently. Like, there would be some fighters you really need to fucking be like, you need to fucking...
But there's also fighters that are not, like, there's plenty of fighters that I'm not a good coach for just because of the way that I am. They should go to a Miles or to a Craig or a Matt or whatever.
And one coach doesn't fit all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's... Sometimes that can be hard for a coach who's like, you know, I need to coach every fighter, but like not every fighter's for every coach.
I feel like Miles can get pretty emotional in the corner, but he's generally pretty calm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Miles, I think he wears his heart on his sleeve, you know, like he'll let you know if he's like happy about something or upset about something.
And he'll let you know if you're losing, which is
exactly.
so fucking important. Not enough people. You see some corner work and you're like, why are you telling him that was a
100%.
good round.
But then like that's the thing. Like
The fighter might not respond to
exactly.
to the negative.
It's so hard because then they're like, fuck, I'm losing and now this is shit. There's no point. I'll keep. But other people can be like, yeah, well done, champ. You're winning for sure.
Yeah.
And then I hope they get better, you know?
Do you have any fighters in the works to fight in one of the bigger promotions in Australia? Like on an Eternal or a Hex or anything?
So like a Josh Watkins definitely could. He's in a real good position at the moment. He's fought for a title and doing pretty well.
All your boys. Do you have many pro fighters?
Nah, so Josh is like the only one who'd be close.
Yeah.
So we're still pretty new in that respect, especially in Adelaide.
How do you determine when someone's ready to go to a pro fight?
Well, it's hard. Like we're saying now, like the level lifts so much compared to 3 years ago. Like Josh right now, 3 years ago would be a champ as a pro. You know what I mean? But like the game's just developing so fast.
Imagine getting fucking like a Matty Stevens or Jack Spacey as your first MMA fight.
A rough day. And that almost happened to some people, you know, like for Jack Spacey. Fuck having that for your first fight.
He would have to go straight to pro.
Yeah.
He could fucking just do an amateur one and just ruin someone's day, but you'd have to go pro straight away. I reckon he'd have the capability to go pro straight away and have great success.
But that's one of the ways you know that your fighters are ready to go pro. Like if you try to get Jack Spacey an amateur fight, everyone's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No. And it's like, oh, we have to go pro. That's one of the ways, you know.
But there's some fucking killers in the amateur. How many amateur fights do they need? But then you want them to get a lot of ring time. You almost want them to get a loss out the way so they can see how they bounce back. So I guess that's what that amateur.
You want them to have a few different looks. Maybe a striker, a wrestler, a cardio guy, a banger. You know what I mean? You want them to have like a bit of experience building up on shows. Like you don't want to have your first fight on a big show with good looking ring girls, good music, good like a Hex or something. That's a hard first fight. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't
shit yourself.
Yeah, exactly. The stage fright would be enormous.
I've never been to actually. They did do a fight show on Hindley Street a few years ago, and Zach and
I fought on that.
Did you fight on that?
That was my last fight.
Yes. No, and it was at HQ where the HQ used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
What promotion was that?
Eternal. It was Eternal.
That was Eternal's last show in Adelaide.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That was their last show. I've never been to a DFC.
Have you not? No. It's pretty good.
I've never been to an Element either, but it's fucking the dates always don't line up for me.
And we live in the south, and Element's so far in the north. It's such a pain in the ass.
Oh, I'd never fucking go to Element. It's too far north, unless they want me to commentate or something. But
that'd be good.
I don't venture that far.
Yeah. Now DFC's a pretty well run show, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen the production value looks nice, and they do a lot. It's just a shame there's not more there's not the scene in Adelaide for it. There should be like 2 to 3. Not rival promotions, but there should be more fights.
Yeah, I think it's good now.
They just don't have the people.
Element who's aiming to do just amateur fights. You know, they don't want any pros. They're like, we're just trying to build up the base level, and that's kind of like the feeder show almost to DF. It should be the feeder show to like a DFC.
Didn't you used to do fucking like interclubs?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and that was exactly that reason. There was no level. There's no promotion.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Didn't Kane fight on one?
Kane
From M16. I believe so. This has been years ago, but I'm pretty sure you used to have
we
interclubs, and there was but it was like fairly hard sparring route. Like it was pretty good.
Yeah, and you get to it's like in front of other people. It's almost like a fight.
Yeah,
but like
a bit more controlled.
Yeah, and it's not in Adelaide fucking Oval. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I heard they were fantastic.
It was good, and we'll probably do more.
You will?
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you haven't, because from what I heard, those shows were sick.
Yeah, they were good for us and good for everyone, I think.
Did you do them at CCMA?
Yeah, exactly.
Is CCMA, how big is it? If you had to compare it to like an M16?
Maybe 2.5.
2.5 times?
Yeah.
One room or broken up into separate?
One big room.
That's fucking nice. That's a good size. Are you including both rooms?
Yeah.
Both, so about...
both rooms probably like 2. Yeah.
Two
of both rooms. Probably.
Double them.
Yeah.
That's fucking a really good sized gym.
It'd be about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, obviously you got the cage in there, so it would have to be pretty big.
Yeah. It's real good. I was literally just trying to think when I started my gym, what would Miles do? And that's how I was like, you can come teach, you can come train. Don't worry about it. Everyone come. And when I was like, what does the state need? What would Miles? I literally just asked myself most of the time, what would Miles do? He'd make a comp so there's more jiu-jitsu experience. I was like, fuck, I should just do that for MMA. Yeah.
Do you have anyone on the open coming up?
Camille.
Oh, nice.
Camille, the real deal.
Yeah, that's going to be fucking... Those opens, man.
It's insane.
That venue is so cool.
Especially like... I used to pay a ridiculous amount of money, drive 5 hours for a shitty competition, you know? And now there's like good competitions that pay, and there's good athletes there and high production, and it's insane.
Miles puts so fucking much into that show.
Yeah.
I'm commentating the next one. Mm-hmm. We're doing commentary on the next one.
Are you going to roll a lot in the prep, or are you going to be more of like a...
Nah, I'm going to... I know enough about jiu-jitsu to know when someone's in a bad... I don't know like the intricacies of it, but sure. I know the bad and good positions.
Yeah.
I know the main positions, but I'm going to be doing it with, I think, Tom Piro.
Oh, yeah, sure. Tom's really good.
Tom's the most autistic bloke I know.
The most?
He's fucking up there. He hides it well. He's an undercover one.
He's good.
He's a fucking... He's much like yourself. He's very unassuming.
Yeah. Especially because he is so nice. Like, hey, man, so good to see you.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
Want to have a quick roll?
Yeah,
this is horrible.
He's fucking really good.
Yeah. And just like, he's like... he doesn't look terrifying.
But
like,
he's got a sleeper. He's got such a sleeper build. Like you said, he doesn't look terrifying. And then he takes off his top and shit, and you're like...
shredded.
Just no fat on him whatsoever. On, it's like, what the hell?
That hair kind of buffers it, you know? Like when you're wearing a shirt or something.
Yeah, it's fucking so many of them now. And that's why I said I can't go back to training heaps, because there's just so many... It's more the younger kids. They're so undeterred by everything. You punch them and they're like, fucking, yeah. And it's like, no.
But sometimes you get a brand new kid and you put him in side control and they're like, whoa, you're amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm amazing.
I actually did a jiu-jitsu session for the first time in years, like maybe like 3 months ago. And it was just like the standard class. And I got bashed a fucking fair bit by a few people, but... And Adam was there, so he was telling people to bully me. But
thanks, Adam.
I did. There was a couple blokes there that. Oh shit! One sec. Let me just pause that for a sec. Where am I? Just a pretty face. Boom.
Bro, we're back. If you ever need a young Jamie, I could clearly do it.
But yeah, I was training at M16 and I like got fiddled a fair bit, but I actually picked on like 2 or 3
how's that
new kids.
That feels pretty good, right?
Considering I hadn't fucking done jiu-jitsu in fucking ages, I did. I picked on these 2 cunts. They probably like their 4th or 5th session, but I picked on.
Got them right out of their wheelchair.
Yeah, crushed them.
She didn't know what was coming. They weren't
even rolling. It was their little brothers that came. But it's so fun. Jiu-jitsu is, without a doubt, the fucking worst sport to start, but it's so fun when a new person comes in.
Coaching is exactly the same, because when you're first coaching, there's so much anxiety and nerves. Like, does he know that I don't know? Does he know? Like, what if you ask a question? Oh shit, am I looking the right way? Am I whatever? But after a while, there's like a room full of people just like all paying attention to you, and you're like, fuck, I might be a god. There's always people listening. And then you go home and your wife's like, can you breathe quieter?
Can you not look in my fucking direction?
Can you eat in the other room? Get out of here. Like,
just a reality check.
Yeah, it's so hard. But like, I feel like that's the same as like you're starting jiu-jitsu. Like, after a while, you're like, fuck, oh my god. And then Declan comes back. You're like, oh, that sucks.
It's just so funny with the levels of jiu-jitsu, because like, obviously you'll get the level of, like, say, you and Miles and all of that, and then you'll get the level of Adam, and then you'll get the level of Declan, and who's the fucking hammer to all of you guys, and then you get people like Nicky Rod, who's fucking Declan's hammer, and then you get Craig, who's still everyone's fucking hammer.
You know what I mean?
And then it's Gordon, who's never been a nail. Like, it's just fucking, it's just so baffling how...
I rolled Craig when he had last time before that. I was just like, I don't understand what's even happening here. I remember rolling Lachlan Giles. I was like, I'm attacking, and then I was tapping. I was like, I don't know where the transition happened. I was attacking you a second. I was passing your guard. Why are you on top choking me?
People Craig's marketing and the character he plays is so good that people forget that he's actually one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world.
It's insane, and like
he could go into an 80cc now and do he won't win, but he'll do fucking well.
Come second.
He'll come second. No, but he could compete at an 80cc with ease
for sure. Yeah, and we're not even someone to say that because we have no idea how good Craig is. We have no fucking idea, you and me, because we could never push him hard enough from any position.
You'd never see him do hard rolls because he doesn't need to do hard rolls now. He doesn't need to go and fucking do 6 rounds with Nicky Rod.
Exactly.
He's too busy in Colombia and fucking Argentina and whatever the fuck he's doing.
If you had to pick one though, you'd pick Colombia and Argentina.
I'd pick Colombia and Argentina over fucking Nicky Rod. Anyone in that B team or in that, and it's pretty open to the public as well. I think the only prerequisite to it is you have to be a blue belt.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but even like a Nicky Rod, I'd rather Nicky Rod than an Ethan Kraustein. Even at least Nicky Rod's like clean shaven, you know. Imagine if it's fucking just hair in your face. Or something.
And there's some people that have real nasty games as well, and they're fucking like they'll dig their fucking elbow into your throat, and they'll fucking like smash their forehead on your forehead and fucking rub it and shit. It's just Adam Jones tactics.
Yeah.
It's all fucking rude.
That's a name for it.
Oh, he's a fucking asshole of a man.
It's the best. I didn't believe in Ezekiel's until I came down here, and I was like, "Oh, that's a real problem."
Oh, dude, I fucking
and wrist locks.
I'll straight up tap to a knee ride now. I don't give a fuck.
I had pride before I rolled with him, you know.
Jamie Harrison tapped me to a fucking knee ride once, and I was really holding off. I was like, I can't do it. I actually have to tap. This hurts so much.
But every time from then on out, it's just a little bit easier to tap to it, you know. Like, yeah, it hurts a bit.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm just uncomfortable. I'm on bottom. That's enough.
I remember the first time I sparred a wrestler. That was actually the most eye-opening experience ever.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because I'd never experienced any form of wrestling before.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name. He was pretty short, and we were...
Lee.
No, it wasn't Lee. It was about similar size. Lee had the curly hair, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was someone similar to him. I don't know if he was like a regular M16 or what, but he was a fucking good wrestler.
Sure.
And... we were sparring and it was all going good, and then he took me down and I was like, oh no. Like fucking, because you always hear about wrestling pressure and how someone can make themselves feel. This kid was lighter than me.
Yep, that
and
sucks.
He made it feel like he was 120 kilos.
Yep.
And he pressed his chest into my fucking face.
Horrible.
And you're trying not to swallow your mouth guard, and you can't breathe properly because you can't breathe out your fucking nose because it's broken.
And he's not easing up.
No, he's just literally smashing his fucking chest on my nose, and I was like, "Is it gay if I tap?" Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't get up. I don't know what to fucking do here. And that has to be the most demoralizing and horrible feeling in the world.
Sure.
Especially like even if you fucking roll, if you do a round with Taylor Ford, you're going to not come out of that role the same man.
Boxers and wrestlers have no chill. Like, I feel like boxers are just...
Boxers are the same.
Yeah, but with punching, it's like, stop punching me, man. Like, I get it. But a Muay Thai guy might be like, it's a bit of fun. Don't worry about it. A boxer is like every single time. This one's to the death, right? You cool? We're good?
Boxers go really hard.
Yeah, and like they land one clean one and there's another 8.
Yeah,
and wrestling's like that. It's like, just let go of my leg.
Have you been to many like pure boxing gyms?
Been on a couple for sure.
They're fucking miserable places.
Yeah.
When you think your striking's good.
You know what I mean?
And you go to a pure boxing gym. I went to fucking TJ's once, and I've been to a couple, but I was like, oh, I got pretty fucking good hands at M16. And then you go to these boxing gyms, and you're like, none of these are even close to hitting you. All of yours are hitting me. Like, you're winning the aim of the game here.
Yeah. And then you might be like putting some shots out there at the start. Like, I'll just touch him a little bit.
Yeah, they're just getting your range.
And they're like, fuck you from the get-go.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Like, boxers, I guess they spend their whole fucking life just working on those two.
Yeah.
Watching those two fucking hands coming at them. But it's so frustrating because you can't actually hit a good boxer clean.
Yeah.
Like, if you can, I'd... Like,
you're not surprising them. They've seen a million punches and you've thrown 100, you know?
But it's just hitting them clean. Like, you in the gym, you hit so many people clean. But, like, you can... like, when you hit a boxer, you're always, like... they're always rolling, or they fucking...
Hands
you're just
up.
grazing them, or they're so used to using their fucking gloves. They're so good with their gloves.
That's exactly right. And it's a hard thing. Like, MMA... you might be the toughest in this situation, but if you did a jiu-jitsu match with a jiu-jitsu guy, you get wrecked. If you did a wrestling match or a Muay Thai or a boxing, you get wrecked in all those disciplines.
What gloves do you train in, like 10-ounce gloves or 8-ounce?
The sevens. Those bigger ones.
Those bigger sevens, yeah.
Yeah, most of the stuff's in that.
They fucking still, they'd suck to get punched in.
They're not, like, for a while, we were talking about MMA being new, like when M16 opened up, there wasn't many 4-ounce. It's 4-ounce or 16s. You know, that was your two options.
And 16s are so fucking...
So big.
Unpractical for training MMA because you get used to having that fucking guard right in front of your face and then you go do it with 4-ounce gloves and it slips straight through.
Yeah, your nose hurts. Exactly. And then... Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's nice now having like 7-ounce gloves. Like the first time I hit someone in them, I was like, oh, this feels like I'm a nice guy again.
Mm.
I remember my first time sparring with Miles at M16. He fucking cartwheel kicked me. I'll never let that go.
He's
tricky.
People forget that Miles is an elite striker. They think he's
exactly.
just. I think like 'cause a lot of the younger people obviously just think he's a jiu-jitsu, like fucking just a jiu-jitsu phenom. He's a world-class striker.
The only other guy who's ever like just pulled tricks out for fun was Brad Riddell. I was sparring Brad Riddell.
You sparred Brad?
Brad Riddell. I land a couple shots. I feel great. I'm like, well, I think I might be UFC level. I'm the man. And then he just starts shooting double legs in front of me, coming up, and then just throwing a hook just for fun. Just like, just what?
When did you get the opportunity to spar Brad?
In Thailand.
I was going to say when he was the head trainer at, was it Tiger?
Nah, he was just training at this point. Yeah.
He used to be the head trainer at Tiger though.
For striking.
And I think that Rafael Fazeev is now...
so he was coaching while I was there.
Fazeev?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't know if because people were just coaching like... It wasn't like this is the coach and he's there all the time. People were just kind of chop and change.
Fazeev is probably one of my favourite fighters to watch.
Him and Brad's fight sucked a bit, you know? Because one of them has to lose.
That fucking... He's knocked him... He wobbled him with a spinning heel kick, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking... That was a great fight. Brad Riddell's good. He's pretty inactive at the moment. I don't know if he's injured or if...
I think he's just doing his own thing. I think there's rumours of him coming back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got his like Patreon and his YouTube channel and stuff.
Yeah.
People like him are so technical.
Is he's still at City Kickboxing?
Or
is he training out of Tiger?
He's away somewhere. Yeah. I think he's maybe at Bangtail a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters do go to Thailand because you can live like even if you're not in a big promotion, you can live like you're in a big promotion.
Yeah, 100%.
In Thailand.
Cheap. Yeah, and like all your washing gets done for $1. All your food is like $5.
And it's nice food.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can train with people like fucking Valentina Shevchenko. Like you got like it's a very big hub. You got Khalil Roundtree there, who's going to be fighting Pereira this weekend.
That was I think all fighters who like they've had a couple fights and they're like, I think I want to take this seriously, should go to somewhere like a huge camp like Tiger.
You can live like a professional fighter, see if it's for you. More
importantly, you can get 1,000 different looks. Like there's like everyone knew like that end's where the Russians hang out. And if you want to go spar with someone who's like swinging hard and can wrestle, like that's where you go. Like this guy's a great kickboxer, that guy's from America, this guy's from Brazil, this guy's from...
That's true. You'd have like your Dagestani or you'd have your Russian style wrestlers there. You'd have your like fucking Thai Muay Thai kickboxers.
Exactly.
Like you'd have all of these different looks because it's such a central hub for fighting.
Literally in the same day, I sparred with like Tai Tuivasa, I sparred with Brad Riddell, I sparred with Alexei, I forget his last name. The Russian dude.
Olenek?
No, not that big guy. He's he's only in the UFC once. He fought here in Adelaide actually in the UFC.
He sparred Tuivasa as well.
Yeah, but like, and he was just like a gentleman. He's like throwing jabs out. It's pretty fun. We got to do some jiu-jitsu rounds. A few guys from Australia were there. Like it's just you get to have all these different looks in one session. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's.
If you stay in Adelaide, you won't get that in your whole life.
You need to travel as a fighter.
Yeah, you need to travel to other gyms. You need to travel to other states, other countries.
If you want to take it seriously, it depends. Not every fighter wants to end up in the UFC. Some people just want to have 2 or 3 fights, I guess, and then move on with life.
I almost think those people should do that more because, like, if all you want to do is like get the most out of your experience, go to Tiger Muay Thai. Go to America. Go to wherever. Go to City Kickboxing.
City Kickboxing would be a fun one to go to.
I don't know if I want to spar that many Maoris, you know?
That'd be a fucking terrible day to go sparring. Oh, that's a shit gym to go sparring. And you even got that, what's the bloke from Adelaide? Brando is there too.
Yeah, I've sparred Brando before. Sparring people like 4 or 5 weight classes above is Just a horrible idea. You can't do anything.
It's for people out because we're like you're even bigger than me, and it's just you're massive. It's just there's weight classes for a fucking massive reason.
I think it's good for like the mental game, you know, like
yeah.
I'm not going to bitch out even on Brando.
Yeah. And it's also getting in on taller guys because I'm sure, like
100%.
I've always struggled getting in on taller people.
Imagine you're doing well in your little lightweight division, and then you meet Jalen Turner. You're like, oh my god,
6 foot fucking 3 or 6'2" big motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's like, fuck, I've never done that before.
Yeah, it's really hard. But then you get some people who love fighting taller people.
They're liars.
I don't understand how. Like, I can't. If they got a good teep, you're fucked.
But you're right. There's some fighters like a Marab who's only ever fought bigger guys, you know, or
he's just a different person.
Different cat.
I don't understand how that works.
It's the best.
I don't understand the gas tank. I don't understand how that works.
I think it's a couple of ways to do that, right?
Oh, fucking EPO and living in Russia.
It's the only way that I can do it for sure. Yeah.
I just don't understand how they're all like that though.
Yeah, exactly. Horrible time. Because you can't do anything to them that's not going to put them out of their zone.
Like Khabib had the worst striking you'd ever see, and he's just still just so dominant. And everyone knew when people know your exact game plan and they still can't fucking deter it.
Yeah,
that's when you know you're one of the best.
And I think that's like some people have a game plan, a fight style that's like a bag of tricks, you know, like they got tricks for this, tricks for that. But someone like a Khabib, which has such solid fundamentals, there's no way your defense could be better if he can put you in his zone.
Are you going to be watching this weekend?
I don't even know who's fighting.
Pereira and Khalil Roundtree.
That's right. Yeah. I'll watch this for sure.
That's
your predictions?
Fuck.
Because Khalil was so violent when he's beating someone.
I got Khalil. I got Pereira first 2 minutes. Because I just think, I don't think they're going to be, because Khalil's not really one to feel out a fight.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to go either way.
Yeah.
In the first round, because Khalil's so fucking violent.
So violent.
But I don't think no one can just, Pereira's left hook in 4-ounce gloves is just, he doesn't throw it hard.
That's insane.
He doesn't throw it hard.
It's about no striking, you know what I mean? Like, and this is what we're saying about like sparring at a boxing gym, boxing rules. Like if you're going to fight Alex Pereira in striking rules, what are you going to do? And
it's going to be a striking fight. Khalil's never shot on anyone.
But now would be the time. Now would be the fucking time.
Pereira's got more takedowns in the UFC
than
Khalil.
Oh, because Khalil hasn't shot.
He's never shot.
But we can guarantee Khalil knows how to wrestle.
Oh, but fuck, I don't even know.
I don't think he will.
It doesn't look like Pereira throws shots hard though. It's like incredible. He doesn't land them that. Like
his distance management is the best, you know, like just little step in, little step out, and he's got you covered.
I think there's something to say with his, like, he's got such broad shoulders and he can generate so much power, and he just whips it. Like when he throws his hook, he just whips it in. He doesn't really like tune up and sit down on his punch and pivot.
That kind of like sit back hook he does, where like especially in his early fights where he'll kick you rush in and he steps back into a hook. Oh my god, brutal.
It's just crazy how he can generate so much fucking power from it.
Yeah. Yep, he's good at what he does.
He's the best at what he does.
There's guys in my gym that I think about that all the time. Like, I'm glad you're on my side because I don't know what the fuck I would do to try and game plan against Alex Pereira, you know?
It'd be terrible.
Yeah. I would pray a lot. I would
take him down.
Get some lucky rabbit feet. And
how do you fucking plan for that? It's just you got to take him down.
Your right hand stays on your head, and
you can. Izzy's very fucking not lucky because he won that fight. He won that fucking fight.
Yeah,
but he could have not won that fight if one of those punches landed clean.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the gamble all the time. Like
that wasn't an ideal situation to be in.
Yeah,
that was just
against the fence, taking shots.
That was just well executed by Izzy.
Yeah.
It was not. I wouldn't say even lucky, but it was very well executed by him. But he was lucky that one of those shots didn't slip between his gloves and fucking knock him out.
We talked about this with you sparring Spacey, but you know how like some people you give a shot and it's like fuck, the shot's coming back. But Izzy's knows this guy is like one of the best knockout artists ever. He's felt it a couple of times already, and he's still got to be there in the moment, game, taking those shots.
And he'd have that fear.
Eyes on him, and he has to be ready to go.
I don't give a fuck who you are. If someone knocks you out that violently and you have that... if you have to fight him again, you do have a fear of him. You have to.
The guy who knocked me out, I fought him again. and like it was a late notice fight. So I had another fight lined up. That guy pulled out, and the promoter's like, "Hey, do you want to have that fight again?" And I was like, "No, not really. Hey, like, he knocked me out last time. Do you remember? That kind of sucked." But then like straight away, it's like, "Yeah, fuck it, I want to get that back."
But did you go into the fight with that fear?
I don't think so. I think because I was lucky it happened in the first like 30 something seconds, and I could just hide behind. It was lucky. It was this. It was that. If it happened like 3 times in a row, that would fucking suck.
Yeah. Some people just have some people's measures.
100%.
It's like there's a massive thing that you could be 4 times the fighter of someone.
Yeah.
But they just have your measure, whether it be a mental thing, just some people just have some people's, like, they can't beat them.
I've seen it before in the gym where
Holloway and fucking Volk.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like,
perfect.
Fuck. I feel like Holloway is still
never want to see that fight again.
Oh, could you imagine a fourth?
Never want to see that fight again.
Who's fighting Taporia? But even in the gym, a guy I know who's like strong, athletic, fast, got good range, good timing. A guy who's beat him before, and he just like cowers to it. I was like, I know you can beat that guy if you just step up. It happens all the time. The mental game is everything.
Yeah, and it's fucking not natural to go into like. It's hard to fucking. It's a hard sport mentally because it's not. Especially when you're standing, it depends because a lot of like you can be a nice person and still fight like you.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's some people that would be so fucking intimidating to fight because you know that they're willing to do a lot more than you're willing to do.
Oh yeah, Because when I'm uncomfortable,
some people are mean.
That's enough. I've had enough. You win. Good job. There's a guy I fought. He was from, I want to say Syria. I know it's not Syria, but like a war-torn place. In the fight before I fought him, he got his forearm snapped halfway through the round. He just fought from the other stance and kept jabbing.
I break my fucking toe, I'm out.
I don't have to break it. Yeah, exactly. And then like we have our face off, and he's just like a mean looking guy. And I was like, fuck, this really sucks. My normal charm's not working. He's not laughing at my jokes. He's not having a good time at all. You know.
You don't want to be my friend.
He just wants to murder me.
Like some people, like with Moicano's shoulder.
Yeah.
I fucking wake up with a sore back. I'm calling the fight off.
I've taken a week.
I'm fucking done.
I'm not at work. I'm not at the fights.
But it's just, it's so crazy the shit that some people are willing to go through.
100%. And that's the best bit. Like
fucking Francis Ngannou fucking ran the Sahara Desert and fucking had to break into France to fucking
swam over to Europe
to fucking fight. I don't like driving to Marion because it's too far.
Exactly. So, and this is the thing with fighting now. And one of the reasons I did the interclub is some people just want to have one. Mm. You might get matched against a guy who's like taking this seriously. He's decked out his shed. He's doing PTs 4 times a day. He's got an ice bath. He's fucking living it. It's just Yuri Prohaska screaming in the woods, you know. But there needs to be a level for people who are not that crazy.
Yeah, and it's so hard because if someone's 0-0 and your fighter's 0-0, you don't know where that fighter's going to fucking... Yeah. It's just such a roll of the dice. Those first couple fights are just a fucking roll of the dice.
And this is why your gym has to do hard sparring. This is why your gym has to have
So at least killers. If they do lose, they don't get fucking hurt.
Yeah, exactly. They're used to it. They're ready to go. Yeah.
And it doesn't deter... I don't know. It probably would deter a young fighter heaps losing their first fight. But then you get people like...
Jack
Hazy.
Yeah.
He fucking... I don't know. I don't want to fucking...
0-5.
Was he 0-5?
0-5.
And then
goes pro.
Boom.
What's up? Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah.
Just like that.
And like the resilience that guy has, like, I'm going again. I'm going again.
Doing that would be the hardest thing in the world.
For sure.
To go 0-5. And he lost in, I believe, every way possible. I'm not shitting on you, Jack, by the way. I'm fucking shouting you out now.
You're the man.
But I'm pretty sure he lost by like a decision, a submission, and a TK. Like he'd
and I'll tell you why,
failure in every way.
Jack Hayes is a fighter. That's why.
He is one of the hardest grinders I've ever seen in the gym.
Especially like for what we're saying, working through injuries. Like that guy's... His back's always out, his shoulder's always out, his leg's always fucked. Like something's always wrecked on that guy.
He's always the smallest guy in the fucking gym.
Yeah.
Like he's had to deal with the size, and because M16's actually, luckily M16's not a huge gym. We don't have many really big motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But he's always been the smaller guy. He's always but then he fucking fought through all that shit, and then he's fucking gone pro debut, fucking boom.
and that's the thing, like a him, a Francis, or whatever. Like, what are you going to do to them? Well, what are you going to do? They got nothing to worry about.
I don't give a fuck if they lose.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
And they'll do it again tomorrow.
And that's the scariest cunt. Someone who's not ready to doesn't
exactly
care
right.
if they lose.
Yeah.
But we will cut it now.
Easy.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I will have to make the trip down to CCMA one day.
I'll see you there.
Thank you, brother.
We will.